Okay, teachers, here we are with another segment of Classroom Management by Design for the Primary Teacher this week. Well, first of all, if you do not know me, I am Lauren Zabigan. I am the founder of LessonPlanToolbox.com, where we support primary teachers in all things classroom management, student behavior, classroom culture, getting the systems and routines in place. That's all different parts and pieces of classroom management, but all essential for having a successfully run classroom. So this week, we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics, probably one of your dreaded ones, but it's all about ways of keeping students engaged without chaos when they are done early with their work. What do we do with these early finishers, right? They come to you and they're like, I'm done. And you're like, I just passed out the worksheet. How can you be done? We've all been there. You give an assignment. Most students are working diligently, but a handful finish at that lightning speed. And then boom, they start wandering around the room or chatting with their friends or finding creative and maybe disruptive ways to entertain themselves. Meanwhile, the rest of the class is still deep in their work, and now you've got two groups pulling at your attention, but in opposite directions. So how do you keep early finishers engaged in learning without constantly interrupting your lesson flow? We're going to try and go beyond those usual grab a book routine and explore some new ideas that hopefully will be highly effective strategies that will help you to build independence and maintain a classroom calm and just foster that meaningful learning environment. So the first thing we want to propose to you is to create a what's next chart. Give students autonomy by posting a visual what's next chart in the classroom. This is going to give them clear, structured choices so they aren't constantly asking, what do I do now? The key is offering a mix of engaging, low-maintenance activities such as silent sketch storytelling, right? Where students draw a sequence of events based on what they learned today. Maybe you offer pattern play, where you offer some logic puzzles or pattern-based activities to stretch their thinking. You can also provide discovery centers where you just set up rotating mini centers with hands-on explorations. It could be magnets, it could be mirrors, it could be measurement tools, just things, they grab it, they take it their seat, they get to explore it. You don't build a lesson around it. Another idea you could try is the Level Up Challenge folder. Some students finish early because they crave a challenge. So instead of giving them more of the same, have a Level Up Challenge folder. And this is going to have activities that require deeper thinking. So for a writing task, you could say, ask them to rewrite a story from a different character's perspective, right? If it's Little Red Riding Hood, write about the perspective of the big bad wolf. For math, have them create their own word problems, and maybe you include them on a morning worksheet. For science, maybe try letting them design an experiment based on whatever topic you're learning about. What could we experiment about? Make it clear that this isn't just busy work. It's an opportunity to level up your learning skills, okay? The next one, and this one might be my favorite, secret missions. Turn early finishing time into secret agent adventures, where you create a set of secret mission cards and you encourage the students to engage in just meaningful, independent tasks. So for example, you could have a detective mission where you say, find 3 classroom objects that are shaped like a cylinder and explain their use. You could have a kindness mission. Write an anonymous note of encouragement to a classmate. You can have a brain boost mission. Solve this riddle and write a new riddle for a friend to solve. Rotate them frequently to keep students excited and engaged and wanting to go back to it. The next thing you can do, and this kind of depends on the academic level of your class, but have a peer mentor program where you turn your early finishers into your classroom mentors. You can train them to assist in classmates in structured ways, such as helping a peer by explaining instructions, but you need to teach them not to give answers. You could have them check over someone's work and offer them feedback. If they got any wrong, be polite, but ask them to review those questions. Guide a classmate through a tricky step in an assignment, especially if it's like a word problem. Some of your lower level students might need that extra set of hands, and your early finishers are great at offering that support. This not only keeps your early finishers engaged, but it's also building up those leadership skills and strengthening your classroom community. Okay, the next idea I'm going to propose to you is called the unfinished learning bin. Not all early finishers complete every task perfectly the first time. So have a bin where students check for past work that needs revisiting, which might be incomplete assignments. It might need work that needs corrections. It might be a list of skills they can practice, such as math facts or handwriting, tying shoes. This keeps them accountable for quality of work instead of just speed, okay? The next idea I want to propose to you is an independent exploration time. This is where you encourage independent inquiry by letting early finishers choose a topic of interest to explore. So you might have a wonder wall where you post questions and then research answers in books or through a guided classroom resource. They can write a short report, maybe on an index card. They can draw a diagram or a model. They can share their findings with their class, maybe at the end of the day. This is going to empower students to take ownership of their learning, and it's keeping them engaged in meaningful work. The seventh idea to consider is rotating choice boards. So you all know what a choice board is, right? A choice board is going to offer a variety of activities which are tailored to different learning styles. Maybe you can rotate these options weekly so your students don't get bored, and you could have ideas like the artistic. Illustrate a key concept from today's lesson artistically. Practice a brain break with a movement sequence. Let them come up with the sequence. Record a mini podcast about what they learned. Solve a brain teaser or a math puzzle. This is going to help students practice self-direction while keeping them engaged in productive tasks. Another idea, and you probably already do this one, that's why it's kind of towards the bottom, but have a teacher's assistant where you pass some students, some students love responsibility. So give them a teacher assistant pass, and this is going to help you organize classroom materials, set up for the next activity, deliver a message to the office. All of those things you would have a teacher assistant do. It's going to build confidence, teach responsibility, and help you to manage the classroom more smoothly. Okay, the ninth idea, and I'm pretty sure this is the last one I have for you. This one is low maintenance. Reflection journal. Encourage self-reflection by having your students write about their learning experience after finishing a task. What was most interesting in today's lesson? What question do I still have? How did I improve today? The journaling builds metacognition, it deepens learning, and provides you with valuable insight into student thinking. And I lied. I gave you a bonus idea. And this one, I guarantee you, is at the bottom because you probably do this one too. But it's that famous ask 3 before me rule, right? Create that independence culture by teaching students to seek answers from their classmates or their classroom resources before coming to you. This is going to avoid those interruptions and really encourage collaboration. So ask 3 before me. Managing early finishers effectively isn't about just keeping them busy. It's about fostering independence, curiosity, and deepening their learning. By implementing some of these strategies, not all of them, but some of them, you're going to create a classroom where all your students stay engaged and you can focus on teaching without that constant disruption. I would love to know, what are your favorite ways to encourage early finishers? What are ideas that you have? If you could let me know in the comments, that would be great. We are gearing up. If you are not in our membership, oh my gosh, the stuff we have coming is just going to be mind-blowing for the 25-26 school year. We've been working with teachers this year, hearing how they want specific resources where we can just kind of plug and play and tap. And that's what we're providing, along with or in addition to giving you that one-on-one support that teachers so desperately need. The whole point of lessonplantoolbox.com is that we are not a one-size-fits-all classroom management system. Every classroom is unique. Every teacher is unique. Every student is unique. What worked for you this year might not work for you next year. Our job is to work with you to build up those strategies. We will take that burden off your plate, find the resources, find the strategies that you can use to build that solid classroom culture. That being said, consistency is key. So whatever systems you put in place, be sure to be consistent with them. So be on the lookout for us opening up for the 25-26 school year, and so excited to be sharing more and more of our ideas, routines, and what's working for so many teachers, and giving you your own individualized process, all coming your way. Okay, until next week, teach, relax, repeat.